So, all right, let's go over the Big Ten. Let's finish up with Washington, and then we've got about a 2-minute wild card, and we'll get out of here.
I'll make this quick. I think Washington will be the most fun team to watch in the Big Ten in 2025. Does that mean they're going undefeated? No. I'm telling you now, this team will be fun. Pac-12 After Dark might have died, but it lives in the Washington Huskies in 2025. Jed Fish, historically known for slowly building back his programs and having good second and third years. So I am very curious to see what Jed Fish does. Okay, the schedule. First 3 games of the year, they should win. Then you host Ohio State. Okay, that's a bugaboo. You will be going to Michigan, as we just got done talking about. That's on October 18th. You host Illinois. You also host Oregon at the end of the year. You are playing 4 of the 5 best teams in the Big Ten this year. There's that possibility this team could get Illinois at home. They could get Oregon in an upset at the end of the season. I think they do have that ceiling, but I think it's conservative, safe, and reasonable to say Washington should finish this year also at 8-4. I could see them getting as high as 9-3, and if they blow the doors off of something, 10-2. That feels like absolute best to me at this point. I think what Jed Fish can do with Damon Williams is going to be reminiscent of what he was able to do at Arizona with Noah Fifita. And if anything, I think Damon Williams has more physical gifts than what Fifita has. Offensively, again, I like what Denzel Boston brings. Selfishly, as a Penn State guy, Omari Evans, the transfer from the Nittany Lions, is the type of guy that can take the top off of a defense. So I think that's going to be a nice piece. Their tight ends are consistent on a regular basis. They are contributors. Jonah Coleman is a thumper at tailback. I love what his game is. So to pair a hammer like Coleman and a guy like Damon Williams, who is slippery, fast, and very smart with the football, I like what he can do. The brothers Hatchet on the interior. Packy Finau is a great offensive guard. Carver Willis and Drew as a party at tackle. Willis and the elder Hatchet transfers in. Speaking of transfers, that's the bulk of this defense this year, and that can be a problem. However, 2 of which that you're going to be focusing on are Arizona transfers. Yeah. So there's going to be that familiarity with Jed Fish and Tai Uiagalelei and Takario Davis in the secondary. CJ Christian from FIU, Zari Alexander from UCF, and then Tariq Al-Okta, I hope I'm pronouncing that correct, is from Washington State. The defensive line, I love what Isaiah Ward is able to do. Prysock at cornerback, I think, is a really bright future. And this was a team that struggled to stop people last year. I think, again, it just matters how quickly they're able to gel going into the season. Change the defensive coordinator, so that'll have some play into this season. But again, I think this is a team that they're probably going to have to outscore most of their opponents if they're going to want to win games. But when they do it, it's going to be flashy. It's going to be fun to watch. Look out for Damon Williams this year. I don't necessarily think he winds up in the Heisman race or anything like that, but he eventually will be in a year or 2. This is a guy who's got that much talent. So I'm really looking forward to seeing Washington. Their schedule's tough. All those games I mentioned, a lot of them you get at home, which is great, but it's still a murderer's row.
All right, Tom, I need you to do me a favor. Talk me off of the ledge, because I, again, have made it clear. I think Washington's going to be that last team fighting for a first spot in the college football playoff.
Listen, I'm not, like I just said, I think 10 wins is not out of the realm of possibility, right? Like Oregon, I think we feel pretty strongly about Oregon this year, but Washington hosting Oregon in the last game of the year, that feels like a situation where the Huskies could get the Ducks, right? Other than that, looking at the rest of the schedule, they host Colorado State, they host UC Davis, they'll be at Washington State for the Apple Cup, then it's hosting Ohio State. Then you're at Maryland, you're hosting Rutgers, you're at Michigan, you're hosting Illinois, you're at Wisconsin, hosting Purdue, at UCLA, and then hosting Oregon. Like, the games are there. They can get Illinois at home. The 2 that really would scare me if I'm a Washington fan would be Ohio State and Oregon. And the rest of those games, especially at Michigan, given all the things we just pointed out about Michigan and their question marks, who's to say Damon Williams and company couldn't march into the big house and take out Michigan? I think that's very likely. The Illinois game is a big question mark. To me, if I'm in your situation, Cole, where it's like, I think Washington can make the playoff, I think them in Illinois, very virtually similar resumes and very different teams in general, but two teams that are going to be right there on that proverbial bubble for the Big Ten.